Hey y'all, I'm super excited to get into today's content because we're just going to be doing a flip. So, for context, the way that I have this set up, which some of you may have seen in my other videos, is that I have my common planner here and was clearly so excited to dig in. So I have been using parts of the common planner in addition to this insert from the Travelers Company, because this is giving me an idea of how I plan to use my weekly spread. Okay, so we're just gonna do a little flip. This is a realistic flip, and when I say realistic, that means there are several pages that are absolutely blank, and that's okay. So let's get into it. So I started using this system in October. I was using the B6 Common Planner prior to this, but once I tapped into that Common Planner TN size, I was like, girl, let's get in. So I have, basically the way that I structure this is I have my to-dos on this side. I have appointments, reminders, notes for the given day on this side, and then I have day-specific tasks over here. So one of the things that you can, actually, is this even the first channel? Yes, okay. So this is the first spread in this insert. So the setup is still the same. I pretty much use it consistently this way. So you can see here that what I do is some of the stuff in red is for my husband, and you'll see as I flip through that, like, sometimes I don't always have this pen available, or I just don't care and I write it in whatever pen I want to. So that's what works for me. These are my tasks for the day, and they're written in this, where are the colors? I don't know, but in this mild liner color, okay. Oh, brown. It's color brown, y'all. So yeah, this is what I'm using to write these little squares. So that's that. Because I use the system for both personal and work, sometimes I try to differentiate what's what if it just visually helps me for the week. And so that's why you get like some of the stuff in the highlighter, some of the stuff in the red. And it looks like in this particular week, a couple of things that I logged here was like my coworker being out of office, because when he out of office, I'm out of office. Some other notes that I see in here is like transferring funds to my credit card and like leftover funds, and show and share every week. My son has like show and tell, and everything is for a letter. So like it was either an A or a G, it looks like. So I had a reminder to bring that there. During this time period, he was also doing T-ball, and my wonderful sister-in-law actually had plans with him that day. So I wanted to make sure that was captured, because I knew once she got him, it was time to party. Some things that you see here in like the pink highlight and stuff like that, that is just what I highlight at the beginning of the day if I'm like, this is a priority, or maybe even at the beginning of the week, I'm like, no matter what, this thing today or this week has to get done. All right. Ooh, more fun. Okay, back to this page. So in here, I was logging my workouts. For those of you who see my other videos, you know I was doing 75 hard. I was not doing it during this time period, but I knew I need to get back on my game. So I wanted to make sure those were bright and in my face so I wouldn't forget. I forgot a little bit, but that's okay because I got back on. Some stuff I put in here, you can kind of see. Finish reading Hello Beautiful. That did happen. If you follow me on Instagram, you see me do my like 2-sentence reviews for that one. the drama. When I say the conflict is so scandalous, parts of the book are kind of slow, but I do think that overall the writing is quite beautiful and the conflict is something that I deem as like taboo. You don't normally see it, but it makes for a great read. This day, so I didn't have any meetings, so I just wrote my task across. That's just what I chose to do there, just to fill up the space. But we'll get more into this planner. You'll see how I feel about space. I think down here, I was saying how much of a medicine my youngest son had to take. Here, I was just kind of logging what I needed to remember for a partner meeting. Yeah, again, with the pink highlighter for like prioritization. All right, here is where things get a little bare. So here again, I started off the week strong. I had all my meetings written down. I had some to-dos transferred from the previous week. And then things got a little shaky. I'm really trying to remember. Okay, I do know that I was preparing for Howard's homecoming, which was the following week. So maybe that's why. So for context, when things get crazy, you would think I would cling on to my planning system, but the exact opposite happens. And let me show you. Boom, blank, blank, blank. That is 1, 2, 3, 3-ish weeks of blankness. Y'all, that means I was in the grip. And what I mean by the grip is when things start piling on me all at once, I just lose touch with my systems. I still get things done, which is great, but my paper planning system is the one thing that always takes the hit. And this is a reflection of that. I had several like tight deadlines in addition to the fact that I was actually going to be out of office. So that's what happened. But then, got back into November. I was like, girl, pick it up. And so I did. You can see it's not as intense as some of the previous ones in October. I was easing myself back in. Another star situation here. Just a reminder that my kid who's in soccer needs to wear a soccer jersey that day. I needed to vote. I needed to make sure I knew that I was the one taking the kids to the daycare and that the daycare was going to be closed on the 10th, which was very important because neither one of us were off this day. So had to make sure that was bright and in my face. Birthday parties, Disney on Ice. So much fun. I don't know if you can see that, Disney on Ice. I took my 3-year-old and let's just say we had a blast. AKA I had a blast. No, but he really enjoyed it as well. He's like obsessed with Elsa, specifically Let It Go. So the entire Disney Ice experience, he kept asking for Elsa, and of course Elsa was last. So that was a lot of fun. But no, we had a great time. He got to try Dippin' Dots for the first time, so that was a lot of fun. All right, things getting crazy. So this, you can already tell, like leading up to Thanksgiving break, it was utter chaos. But I think I love that. That's the beauty of paper planning, is that you can see it. You can visually see like what your emotions are just by looking at what's on this page. I had a lot of things to do. A lot of things got done. And I love to be able to look back on this, kind of like some people, if you're journaling, memory keeping, like this is my memory keeping. This is for me to look back and say like, dang girl, like you made it. Like you got through that week that you thought was crazy and was going to take you down. But here's a reminder that I made it. And so I love to look back and just kind of see that and relive that experience, not relive, but like reflect on that experience as I go into other like kind of hectic weeks. But you can see here, I got a random new pink pin. So I was like, let's throw let's throw some pink in here, which is what I did. I think I used it, yeah, I used it for like a last minute meeting. This was a meeting that wasn't originally on my schedule that had to be changed. I wrote in like this green pin here what dinner plans were, and these different color pins are all like this dual ink Rytec situation. I love them. They're 0.5, and yeah, they're great just for on the go if you want two different inks. So yeah, pajama day at school, show and share. We were bringing Buzz Lightyear. No swim lessons this week, y'all. So many. I even had stuff on Sunday, which you saw in the other spreads that I rarely had. Prep a meal. Oh, for Friendsgiving. That did not happen. Glad it was a question mark and not an actual to do. And then over here, I still like logged some of the things that I needed to remember for those different meetings for that week. And I was highlighting my priorities within a given day. So in the other spread, I was doing it just on the right side. But in this week, I actually did it per day. And I think that's great because I did have to make some modifications given the fact that there was so much on my plate for this week. So sometimes you got to switch it up. You got to switch it up. Here we go. This is Thanksgiving week. I made sure I was writing down dinner again. leftover. Yeah, your girl was not cooking, okay? Get those leftovers. Make that turkey sandwich. So here, these are some things in pink that I needed to remember. Grocery pickup, needed to start my crock pot recipe so that it was ready. Needed to know that daycare was closing early, another thing, but I was actually off this day, so that was fine. Thanksgiving Day, not much to do except make my world famous collard greens. And some things that I had on this side, I crossed this out because I realized my coworker was out of office, so we were not having a meeting this week. And so cross that out, moved it to the next week. These were some like content creation ideas. I kind of like write them out randomly on these days. Yeah, so this was that. These tasks down here, they were more of reminders for the next week. I just started jotting them down because Sunday is my day of rest. But yeah. And another important note, did the soccer jersey again, and that my father-in-law was coming over. He was bringing over some fufu, so the kids loved that, and we had a blast. All right, let's get into it. So this is the week after Thanksgiving. Lots of meetings happening. And when I say meetings, like not just my regular check-ins, but like long meetings, like 4-hour meetings. So I really had to be strategic with my time this week. Again, I wrote down my master to-do list, and you can see all I'm doing is just transferring from one week to the next as the week finishes. Over here, I was writing about doing some Christmas photos for holiday cards, and I think I made a note here to just use their school photos for the holiday cards. When I say life was lifing, I was like, I do not have time for Christmas photos. So school photos, boom, takes care of it. And the photos are very cute, might I add. So this was a meeting that got canceled last minute. We love those. And it was moved to Tuesday, so I just made sure that I logged that there and just rewrote the time just so I wouldn't forget once I'm looking at my Tuesday schedule. And here I wanted to make sure that I had this due date logged. This is a due date for like all of the people that I manage. So I wanted to make sure that I had this, so I remembered to double check to make sure that thing was there before I had to send an accountability email. We love those. So then this was another day where there were no meetings, thank goodness, because I had some long ones. And again, I just kind of wrote out here. I was like playing around with what it would look like to not even put an appointment, and put some like personal to-dos and work to-dos on this side. Not sure if I'm really feeling that or if I really care enough to do that. So yeah. I made sure I put my travel plans here. I had to travel and do an observation for work in Missouri City. If you know where that is, in the Houston region, you can drive 2 hours and still be in Houston. So, it was quite a trek, but I need to make sure I put that there so that I could remind my husband so he knew to take the kids to daycare. Party in the park and church. Here is where I was capturing my stuff with my coworker that I wanted to make sure that I remember for that meeting. And then this is a fun week. It's kind of bare. This was last week. This was my 33rd birthday week. So not only that, but it was also my best friend's birthday. So we had a lot to celebrate, and the week is reflective of the fact that I was preparing the others, aka taking my PTO on Friday. So I had just a few tasks I needed to get done, a few just like couple of loose ends, and did that, and then had a lot to do on Thursday because I was taking off on Friday, but that's okay. One of the things that I put on this sticky note, the show and share situation, but I also wrote the STEAM activity that my son was going to be doing, the ABC patterns he's doing for math, and then just a reminder for me to make sure I log his Christmas party. So, and then we actually didn't go to Lights in the Heights, but we did end up doing zoo lights, which was a lot of fun. So yeah, that is pretty much what my weeklies look like. I've started on this week, but it's not fully fleshed out. And then some other things, I've started working in the monthly spread for the Common Planner, just trying to figure out how exactly I'm going to use it in conjunction with this spread. So thank you for tuning in, and let me know in the comments if there's any other features of the planner you want to see. I hope you enjoyed this flip, and happy holidays.